All right, we are back. We've talked about college basketball, high school basketball. Now we got to get into the Grizz.
Such a polarizing topic for Ruben here.
Not really.
They're the cash cow of this city, man. You just need to get on the bandwagon with the Grizz.
You act like I don't like the Grizz. It's not that I don't like the Grizz. I'm just not the biggest fan of this version of the NBA.
You've been to?
I've been to 3 since I've been in town.
No, I'm talking about this season.
This many.
Exactly.
I'm a busy man. I got 2 kids playing sports every night.
You don't be doing nothing on the weekends, man. Go to them Grizzlies games.
Listen, the Grizzlies games are probably one of the funnest things I've done since I've been in Memphis.
They're cheap.
The vibe at a Grizzlies game is off the chains, fun, for sure.
Yes.
No doubt about that. You're trying to make this about me. It's not about me. It's about the Grizz.
What I liked about the last Grizzlies game I went to was when we covered the Sixers game, and I like during the timeout, and see, that's how they pay attention to the culture of wrestling. Now, I know I'm about to go over your head on this, but there's a popular WWE wrestler named Jey Uso, and he does.
I know who Uso is.
You know about Yeet and how he does the.
Yeah.
They did a Yeet camp where they was like, Yeet, it's just me, Us. Day one, it was, man. I love the Grizzlies, man. It's fun at the game.
What you're talking about has nothing to do with the actual Grizzlies. You're talking about the production crew and the in-game people who are making it a fun environment. That I agree with.
Let's talk about the Grizzlies now. They're 16-20 on the season, and it looked like when we got to the end of 2025, they had turned the corner. They were going to start getting back into it. But then they lost 4 in a row. Mm-hmm. Now they're sitting in 10th place. Now they did snap that spell by beating the Spurs, which a lot of people probably did not think was going to happen.
Well, Spurs had already beat them twice, I think, this season.
Yeah, but the Spurs, I don't know what is going on in the NBA in 2026. So the Spurs whooped the Thunder 3 times, and then the Thunder lose to the Hornets, and the Spurs are losing to the Grizzlies, who had lost 4 in a row.
Yes.
What is going on in the NBA? That just shows how the NBA is wide open.
It's a lack of consistency in the NBA.
And you hate it.
Let's just watch some of these highlights. Can you pull those back for us, Leanna? Can you just pull those back? I want to watch this again, and I want to have a conversation while we're watching those actual highlights. Show me the defense being played.
Hand up.
Watch this. Watch this.
Okay, backdoor.
He's 2 feet off of him.
Wemby. He has Jock Landale guarding. They had their hands up.
And I think Wemby's very talented, obviously.
Top 5 player in my opinion.
Look at that. That's a simple pick and pop play.
But that's what happens.
That's a simple pick and pop play. That's my beef. Good play.
Cam Spencer.
Yeah, good play, Cam Spencer. Get him up in the air. To me, Cam Spencer and Cedric Howard are the bright spots of the Grizzlies this season.
Absolutely. I think Cam Spencer should be a most improved player talk.
When you watch those guys, I think it's easy. I think it's easy to say, man, that's a bright spot. All right, thank you for that.
No. Keep it going because I want to eventually see this Cam Spencer game winner. Now, all right, you had Jalen Wells on the ground.
Come on, bro. You're telling me that? Come on. That's not even an aggressive step back move that he got wide open. That's a simple step back move.
And then guys not getting back. Ooh, look at that chase down block though.
That's a Spurs culture thing though, right? Like you have to play hard on the Spurs. Okay. Come on, the floater.
That chase there. Okay, he went and got him.
A little bit of a foul, but okay, whatever.
Jalen Wells has been getting a lot of hate lately. It just shows how.
Here
it is right here. The game winner, Ruben. That's your guy, Cam I am.
I like Cam.
That's your guy.
I like Cam I am. So, all right, so that's the point I'm making. The point I'm making isn't that I don't enjoy going to a Grizz game. I do enjoy going to a Grizz game. I think it's fun. The vibe is great. And the games that I've been to, I felt like the product was pretty good. I haven't been to any games this year. This year, what I've seen, not from the Grizz per se, but from the NBA, and a lot of times, it's just a lot of inconsistency. And I'm like a basketball purist, right? I love good basketball. I know I'm old, but I love the fact that in the 90s and early 2000s, those games were like 90 to 105 points.
Yeah.
80 to 100, you'd have an 80-point game. 80 to 90 might be the total points, the total point of each team, and that told you there was defense being played. There's 140 points
maybe
scored in halves.
Offensively talented as far as like they all couldn't shoot like that.
Shut your head.
I'm saying like those bigs couldn't shoot. You didn't have no
How
guys
many
who could
bigs
step
right
out
now can really shoot?
Every Everybody on the Grizzlies team can shoot a three.
Have you seen their three-point percentage?
Yeah, because they chuck up a lot.
Have you seen their three-point percentage?
If you cut half of their attempts down, then it probably would look better.
What I'm
saying
saying
you got every
is,
team shooting at least 40, 50 times a game.
Which is a problem. You're making my case for me.
It's going to look lower.
So
Nobody shoots the three ball well because they shoot 50
that it's
times.
okay for people who do not shoot the ball well to shoot threes just because they can.
It's almost like if you are...
I'm asking you a simple question. Are you saying that it's okay for people who do not have legitimate three-point potential to shoot threes just because they can?
In this day, the answer is yeah. But
no,
for me,
the answer is no. The answer is always no. The answer is always going to be no, people. Moms and dads out there,
you
if
hear
you've got
coaches
little
say
Johnny
just keep shooting.
Or little, they never say that to the kid who can't shoot.
Have you ever seen that Deion Waiters quote? It's like, I'd rather be 0 for 9 than 0 for 30. Or I'd rather be 0 for 30 than 0 for 9.
Nobody has ever said that to a kid who can't
shooting.
shoot. Moms and dads out there who are coaching their kids and they want their kids to be the next whatever, I'm going to tell you this right now. Teach your kid how to shoot if you want them to be a shooter. Because the older they get, the less attempts you get. I coach at a fairly high level of summer basketball.
Yes.
And we have very specific rules. If you don't shoot 40% from the three-point line in your school ball season, then you're not a three-point shooter in the summer because the defense just gets better. You can't come to me and you're a 20% three-point shooter thinking you're going to be lighting it up from outside. No, you're not, and that's okay. You might be great at other things. That's not your game.
So what do you tell one of your players when they go 0 for 5 in a game? Do you be like, stop shooting?
Is the kid a shooter or not? If the kid is a shooter, then yes, keep shooting because the averages always work out. I have a kid from Valonia, Arkansas right now who's shooting 48% from three-point line. She's hit 55 threes this season, right?
Sheesh.
So she's a shooter. That means she can go 0 for 5 in one game because I know she's going to go 6 for 7 in the next.
But if it's somebody who that's not your game, you
shouldn't be there.
You're like Patrick Ewing. Who taught you that shot?
Yeah, so I tell our kids when they're being recruited, when we're talking about being recruited, when we're doing basketball, I say, if you're not a three-point shooter and you're out there chunking threes and missing, the only thing the college coach is seeing is that you can't shoot. That's it. That's all they're writing down in their book.
What if they're like wide open? Are you still going to be like...
You're wide open for a reason. Remember that.
Remember Coach Carter scene when they got left wide open and then Coach got mad and he made it?
That happens one out of every 25 times. If you're wide open against a good team, there's a reason for it. They know you can't shoot.
People used to leave me wide open. I'd make them pay. But see, I wasn't a shooter like that.
There you go.
I wasn't
you were wide open for...
A reason.
A reason.
But, I mean, we go back to it's just a different time now. Like, if I was playing high school ball
the game has not changed.
I'm pretty sure they would let me shoot.
The game has not changed. If you want to be a shooter, if you want to, look, I'm not saying bigs shouldn't shoot. I'm saying if that's going to be your game, Kevin Durant killed it for everybody because as soon as his big old tall lanky self started shooting threes,
Dirk.
Everybody started thinking Dirk's from overseas. That's different, right?
Well, okay.
He's overseas. That's different. American. Kevin Durant, that ruined it. Because then every kid I always tell people right now, the worst thing that can happen to a kid is they make 1 3.
Exactly.
The first time they make one, they all think they can shoot.
Because you think, you think we hold Wemby to such a high regard besides him being tall? It's because he's tall and can shoot.
He is skilled. Wemby is skilled. Now,
Wemby takes like 15 threes a game.
But did you remember his rookie year? Do you remember the videos from his rookie year? He's bricking like 8, 10, 9 shots in a row. He couldn't hit anything.
But he still had that green light, though.
But he worked on his game.
Yeah.
He's a shooter now because he became a shooter. He worked at being a shooter.
Same thing with Karl Anthony Towns.
So if you want to be a shooter, cool, go be a shooter. At any portion, at any level, go be a shooter, work on it. But just because you can shoot a 3 doesn't mean it's not shooters, it's makers. That's the difference in this world. Anybody can shoot the ball.
There's shot takers and shot makers.
100%. Are you a shot maker? Then shoot that ball. If you're not a shot maker, then you need to pass it or do what you do well. That's why one thing I like about Cedric Coward, he knows his game.
Yeah.
You don't see him playing outside of himself. That dude will take a mid-range on you and get to the rack, occasionally shoot that thing outside, but he's going to stay in his game. That's what I like about him.
Now, remember when we had Michael Wallace on this program and we was talking about the Cedric Coward comparisons? Now I'm starting to see it.
Yeah.
But not MJ that we know.
No.
I'm talking about the MJ in North Carolina.
Don't ever compare anybody to Michael Jordan.
No. Hear me out.
No.
Watch Michael Jordan at UNC.
No. Yes,
I'm telling
I
you,
understand.
watch the
I've
footage.
watched Michael Jordan at UNC.
I know. I'm telling you, and I was having a debate with my dad.
Coward's not in
from Chicago.
Coward is not in college anymore.
But they're
in the NBA.
I'm saying if you watch Michael Jordan's game at UNC and watch how Coward is playing now, it's so many comparisons that I get it. It's 2 different leagues, 2 different eras. You are looking just like how my dad was when I
Because
told
we know.
him.
You're so young, you don't understand.
But you can
what
still
Michael
see
Jordan
the
really
mannerisms,
is.
though.
That's because, you know why you see mannerisms? Because so many players have modeled their game after who?
MJ.
MJ. I'm going to have Michael Jordan mannerisms if I watch him play and learn how to play like that. Kobe played like Mike.
Yeah, he did, but I like Cedric Coward.
I love Cedric Coward. I'm not saying I don't like Cedric Coward.
And one thing I want to segue, and this is going to be kind of two parts of my hot take. Number one, I think
let's get to this hot take.
Cedric Coward has already shown that he is a worthy replacement to Desmond Bane, and that
100%.
He has shown already that the Desmond Bane trade was the right trade to make.
I like Cedric Coward because I love the energy that he plays with.
Yep.
He is going to go get you a rebound. He is not afraid to go play hard all the time, and he plays within himself. He's averaging 13 points a game as a rookie. I'm totally good with where Cedric Coward is, just like I am with Cam Spencer. Those guys, to me, are the best.
They are a part of the Grizzlies' core of the future. I think the Grizzlies should stay patient and hold on to Ja and Jaren. Now, Jaren, if you want to dabble,
you don't like. So when you say what about me? But you are not a Jaren Jackson fan.
If you want to dabble and see what you can get for him, I wouldn't mind taking calls.
But I said my phone is open.
But if you hold on to him, that probably might be the move. Now, this is part two of my hot take.
I love that.
The Grizzlies right now are the 10th spot.
Yes,
they're basically they're in the play-in. They're like in and out of the play-in. I mean, they lose.
They're going to be a play-in team.
So exactly, if it gets to a point where they can't get to that 8, or if they can't even get out of the play-in with this trade, tank. And you want to know why? Because we should have hit on it more in our last segment. This draft is going to be one of the best drafts in recent memory.
So elaborate for them why they should tank, because I don't think a lot of people understand the trade and what the implications are.
The Grizzlies have 2 first-round picks. So the Grizzlies have their own draft pick, and they have the Orlando Magic's pick. And the Magic are also a team that is in the play-in right now. Yeah. So if the Magic don't make it out of the play-in, then the Magic will be in the lottery. Just like what we saw last year with the Mavericks when the Grizzlies knocked them out of the play-in. The Mavs went to the lottery, and what happened? They end up getting the number 1 pick, getting Cooper Flagg. Yeah. So if I'm a Grizzlies fan, just like I'm a Hawks fan, so this is what I do on the day-to-day, I would root for the Magic to lose every game. As a Hawks fan, I root for the Pelicans to lose every game because the Hawks have the Pelicans pick. If I'm the Grizzlies, every time the Magic play, I'm rooting for the Magic to lose. And that means you get 2 first-round picks in this lottery. Ruben, we're going to probably talk about this when we get closer to the draft, but you are looking at a case where there is no unquestioned number 1 pick right now. There's 3 guys. Yeah. Now almost starting to be 4 who could be number 1. There's Darren Peterson from Kansas. Did you see what he did against TCU? He's good. You got A.J. DeMonsa from BYU.
Yes, no question.
You got Cam Boozer from Duke.
Unquestionable.
And a guy who's starting to creep into that conversation, Caleb Wilson from UNC.
Yeah, and so listen, you're talking
some
about
other guys you were talking about.
Yeah, you're talking about just a number 1. The guys you're like, any of these guys could go first.
Yeah.
Right? Then you've got, like, we're talking about Kingston
Flemings from Houston.
From Houston, that dude's a monster.
You got the 2 guys from Arizona, and Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas. It's so many. You got a guy who they're calling Baby Ant. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's like Yunde Tusufu.
But to your point, this draft is top-heavy loaded.
Yes.
So for those out there who maybe don't understand or hadn't thought about it, hadn't thought through it, and thought, well, man, I don't want to tank. I want to go win. Let's try to see if we can win.
If you can't win it all, then what's the point?
If you can't win it all, then he's saying what Rich's point is, hey, just go ahead and lose, get in the lottery, and get you some extra picks.
Yes.
Because now you can load that. You can load that roster that's already got some pretty strong bright spots,
and you'd be right back up.
And you could probably make a pretty quick turnaround.
I mean, you already got a good nucleus there. You got Zach Edey, you got Cam Spencer, you got Cedric Howard, you got Jalen Wells. Even though some people are starting to sour on him, I'm still a believer in Jalen Wells. Yeah, Ja. To me, like I said, he won't ever go. He will be a Grizz for life, in my opinion. But to Ruben's point, if Ja were to leave in whatever way, if he were to request a trade, if the Grizzlies were to trade him, whatever happens, this draft, you can get Ja's replacement. Just like I got to keep coming back to me as a Hawks fan. The Trae Young stuff we're seeing.
I was going to say, Trae Young's about to
The reason why I am okay with Trae Young leaving from the Hawks is because the Hawks have the Pelicans pick. If that ends up being a top 5 pick, you get Darren Peterson. There's your Trae Young replacement right there.
Well, and the other part of his Trae's on the back end of his career.
Ja is too, though. Ja and Trae are in a similar situation.
Yeah.
People have talked about, would you trade Ja for Trae? Absolutely
No,
not.
I would not.
Absolutely not.
Why would you? One stub toe for another. All right, time for another break. I thought that was a good segment. Good job. Very strong. Your hot take is not that hot of a hot take, just so we're clear.
Did you want to get in, your hot take about the Grizzlies? What were you saying about I forgot what you said.
When? Out there?
Yeah, what did you say? I forgot what you said.
I don't know, but it was probably funny. I'm good
I can't remember it. You had some take about the Grizz.
No,
Dang,
I'm good on
think
that.
of it.
You try to make me seem like a Grizz hater. I'm not a Grizz hater. I'm not the biggest fan of the current NBA playing style. That's my beef with it. Not the Grizz itself. I actually enjoy the Grizz. Big fans of the young stars on the Grizz. I think those guys are going to be great for the Grizz long term.
And I'm starting to believe in Isolo. I know I look on social media, it's still half and half. Some people don't like him. I like him because he's disciplined. He comes from Europe.